On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Illegal immigration was one of the key issues during the U.S. election campaign. Donald Trump criticized his opponents, initially Joe Biden and later Kamala Harris, for their failure to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into the U.S. He claimed that illegal immigrants take jobs away from Americans and worsen the crime situation. After coming to power, Trump seems determined to tackle the issue of illegal immigration in a tough manner. The U.S. government does not publish data on the number of immigrants who enter the country illegally and remain there. However, U.S. Customs and Border Protection tracks encounters with migrants attempting to cross the border illegally, numbers in the millions. From October 2023 to September 2024, over 2.13 million encounters with migrants were recorded at the U.S.-Mexico border. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, there are an estimated 11 million people living illegally in the U.S. The new U.S. president plans to take large-scale action on illegal immigration on his inauguration day, January 20th. This is primarily about the largest deportation operation in American history. On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. Trump said on December 22nd, during a speech at the AmericaFest conference in Arizona.
On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
According to Bloomberg, the plan's first phase involves deporting 1 million illegal immigrants. This will primarily focus on those who have committed crimes or have been issued a final order of removal after failing to gain asylum. Thomas Homan, former acting head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, will be in charge of the operation. Trump previously stated on his social media platform, Truth Social, that he plans to declare a state of emergency and involve the military to ensure the operation's effectiveness. U.S. law generally prohibits the use of armed forces for law enforcement purposes. However, the Trump administration plans to invoke the Insurrection Act, which was used during World War II to detain Italian, German, and Japanese immigrants. The last time it was used was by George H.W. Bush to suppress riots in Los Angeles in 1992. Details on how the operation will unfold remain unclear. In an interview with CBS, Thomas Homan noted that one way to increase the number of personnel for the mass deportation plan would be to hire retired Border Patrol agents. According to him, private contractors could also help transport and set up facilities for detained migrants. Trump's political opponents from the Democratic Party are already preparing to challenge the deportations. Attorneys general in several states where Democrats are in power are preparing lawsuits. These include efforts to contest Trump's attempts to deploy the military within the U.S. However, 11 Democratic state governors interviewed by the New York Times have indicated a willingness to compromise. They are open to cooperating with the Trump administration to deport illegal immigrants who have been convicted of serious crimes. At the same time, the governors promise to protect migrant families, those fleeing violence in their home countries, and businesses reliant on migrant labor. Most people confuse Trump's stance against illegal immigration with the lawful immigration. They think that Trump is against immigration altogether. However, Trump campaigned in 2024 against illegal immigration, but in support of legal immigration. During his campaigns, he has clearly stated that we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally. We want people to come in, but through a system legally. And we're going to open that system up. We need people. We need workers. We need a lot of people. We want them to come into our country.
We want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally. We don't want people that are murderers, that are drug dealers, coming in from jails. We don't want that. We want people to come in but we want them to come in through a system legally.
With President-elect Donald Trump's administration vowing to initiate deportation efforts of illegal immigrants, Mexico is preparing a plan to take back its citizens who are deported after Inauguration Day. The Mexican government will open 25 shelters along its northern border for deported immigrants. Baja California Governor Marina del Pilar Avila Olmeda told reporters this week, according to the Border Report. The shelters are scheduled to open their doors on January 20. 6 facilities will be in Tijuana, with another 2 in Mexicali, Baja's capital city. Each of the facilities is capable of accommodating 500 people, and the shelters will either house single men, women, or unaccompanied children or families. This is a strategic plan to accommodate exclusively people who get deported after January 20th, she said. The shelters, which are intended to serve as temporary housing for deported immigrants, will only house Mexican immigrants being sent back to their country from the United States. Deported immigrants can stay at the shelters for 1 or 2 days before they are sent back home to Mexico, according to the report. Tasked with implementing a sweeping mass deportation initiative, incoming border czar Tom Homan estimates the operation will require a hefty $86 billion to kick off. Despite the sticker shock, he argues it pales in comparison to the $160 billion taxpayers shelled out last year to cover expenses for illegal aliens. In a direct rebuke to critics questioning the expense, Homan stated, "There's no price tag on American lives." He highlighted his mission to prevent tragedies involving illegal migrants, saying his focus is on stopping those who may pose a threat, including individuals involved in violent crimes against U.S. citizens. The former Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICIC director, did not shy away from laying blame on the Biden-Harris administration. He argued that their reversal of Trump-era immigration policies, combined with what he characterized as unlimited benefits for undocumented individuals, led to the current border crisis.
You want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing the loophole.
To sum up, an increasing number of illegal migrants have been crossing the border for a better prospects of their lives. However, this influx has led to frustrations of many Native Americans who claim that their lives are severely impacted by the outsiders. This is why President Trump has been given a second chance, as illegal immigration and border security were major talking points of Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, which criticized the Biden-Harris administration for allowing immigrants with criminal records to enter the country. Your perspective matters. Do you think Trump is going to deport millions of people, or it is technically impossible? Will the Trump administration be successful in deporting illegal immigrants? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on similar stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in these discussions. See you next time.